Why are we okay with assumptions? Perhaps afraid of asking a simple question, we rather allow perception to dictate first impressions. Why is my skin a label? Why must there be an explanation attached to your perception in order for you to determine if I am a worth-knowing kind of person? Why are we so afraid of the unfamiliar? That when we can't point to what society deems as the norm, we feel threatened by the possibilities of what's to come. But all I'm asking is for you to give someone like me a chance. Give me a chance to be. Don't delete me even before I've made the list. I'm not asking for merits that I haven't earned, but after hundreds of years, I know I am more than just a descendant of slaves. I have to admit, we look at stereotypes and we give in, injecting truth into assumptions, giving them room to be alive, losing our individuality to fit ourselves into a pack, falling prey to others' belief of who we are or who we ought to be. But it is time to change that, to settle the forest fires that have been burning from years past. Fires that have left my ancestors with a bitter taste of life. And today, we have inherited their resentment like we did the color of our eyes. We insist on fighting one another instead of creating bonds, damaging each other, not understanding that united, we are strong. This anger, your anger, my anger, it needs more than a fist. No more blood spilled over skittles or nightmares that won't let me breathe. How many more need to die before the internal eye starts to believe that society doesn't need to accept me? I must create my way in. Show them that there is more to me than the excess melanin that's accumulated in my skin. It is time to change that, to mark this generation with my words, shatter the theory that I need to get back to where I came from, because believe it or not, this great nation was built on the shoulders of my ancestors' hard work, so that today I can voice with pride who I am and where I come from. Yes, I am an American citizen, born and raised in New York, a Dominican York, with a heavy accent and a harsh tongue, exercising dual control of two languages, allowing me to enjoy my beautiful Taino heritage and still put my stamp into this world. It is my job to let the others coming up behind me know not to be afraid to be who you want to be. If you don't have a role model, create one and be it. I have learned that hate can never touch me. It just becomes fuel for my will. Violence doesn't need more violence. Like you don't fight fire with gasoline. So this anger that we're feeling, this anger, it needs more than a fist. It needs conversation. It needs education. It needs a voice in you and in me.
Souls burn fearless as gravity bleeds broken hearts like Newton's three laws. Trudging over broken mirrors, reflecting tired dreams, we use wilted cliches to haggle over brothel prices, settling on cracked painted smiles and hollow I love yous that end up clumped together in litter boxes of cheers dropping like bodies in Nigeria. I scream, lead me not into temptation, but deliver us all from evil, because our heart over brain warfare has led to casualties. Number unknown. Dead set on finding the one and the only, we exchange grenades filled with pheromones, consciously mistaking lust for love, settling for the first free excuse, overindulging on a feast of rotted organs disguised as bouquets of roses, we tumble and rumble because I am my own hero, unaccustomed to giving in to anyone else's demands. Mocked by their internet, we trudge through skeletons of forgotten memes and tweets, trying wholeheartedly to avoid mafia wars, but getting caught in endless battles of grievances defined by money-hungry vampires. It seems as if all of our trapdoors are closing remarkably fast. No real secrets here. We all know what's going on. We look side to side, down and up for a savior, never thinking that we are equally the problem and the answer, but taking comfort with backroom deals and ignoring off-the-grid explanations that can make everything so simple. We relish the comforting lies and blowtorch the uncomfortable truths, placing band-aids on non-existent scrapes and bruises, because ain't nobody got time for that. Fighting like wild animals for a spot in the limelight, we are no better than our barbaric ancestors, yet we pretend that our drones and GMOs are sophisticated, knowing damn well that lives are lost. Shell shock exists, and our food is killing us, diabetes style. Yet we walk around in our pesticide-covered cotton clothing, drinking coffee grown by Cambodian child slaves, impatiently fighting for the right to smoke weed, but ignoring the fact that Eric Garner can no longer breathe, ignoring the fact that before there were African Americans, there were Native Americans, and the Japanese suffered too, but unlike us, their wounds have been stitched together with pride and bootstraps. But don't get me wrong. I'm proud to be an American, or at least I know I'm free to pledge allegiance to the flag of me. Free to write a poem about the tragic political climate of my country. Free to participate in a clan that abhors the melanin in your skin. Free to say your God sucks and mine is the winner. And all the while, nature just smiles mischievous and continues to knead creatures into existence like bandits partying, noose-tied, puppy-loved teenagers who believe unabashedly that they will be the ones to change this fucked up existence. Too young to understand the shoulda, woulda, couldas, and maybe advised that the parents harbor. Naively floating towards the broken mirrors and crooked painted smiles with signs in hand protesting the inhumanity that should have been eradicated years before their existence. Hi, I'm Kaitlin Walbrook, and I'm at Arts Out Loud. And I used to be leaked from my eyes and nose, creating the sounds of hiccups and regurgitated disgust because the unfathomable has just desperately occurred, and I cannot contain the electric pulses in my brain producing images in the form of graphic novels, illustrations of what was. For so long I've been focused on what is. What is not what was. Us, you, me, was, together, vows, hands clasped, tears, laughs, dinner, bed, shower, together, us, you, me, we were something, brimming with complexity, dependency. I loved you, and you traced love-struck images of me everywhere you went, and I painted you in between my thighs like it was meant to be. Explicit. I hold my breath and count to 10, trying to contain what I refuse to understand. Failure. Us. You. Single-handedly snipped our bonds like we had no past, present, and apparently future. Like sacrifices were never made. Like emotions were never painted on the walls of our bedroom. Like there was somebody else in our homemade movie the entire time, and I never meant, me never was, nothing, we never existed. Like it was just you, and when we said I do, you were leasing an opportunity to play with me. Like you were too scared to understand what it was to be honestly loved by a fearless young woman. Almost like you expected me to beg and plead and crawl back to you crying, claiming that I just couldn't live without you. I wonder how you felt when I refused to make you feel like you were a god to me, praising the pavement you drove on and raving about my suicide ideations because I no longer had anyone to clean up after. Darling, at what point did you realize that you screwed yourself over and divorced a god?